What's up, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today I'm going to explain how to do Shadowmoon Burial Grounds in 5 minutes. First boss we're looking at here is Sedana Blood Fury. She just got done casting Whispers of the Dark Star. That's just a casted AoE ability that hits everybody else. She also casts Dark Communion. She summons an ad. You have to slow and stop the ad from getting to her. You have to kill the ad, obviously. And whenever you're going over to it, you don't want to run over those runes that are on the outside of the room. What happens if you run over the runes is they do a lot of damage to you. If the ad gets to her, she does more damage, and also it heals her. She's also going to cast like this lunar spell thing, and whenever she casts it, you have to go on top of one of these moons. So you run over the moon gives you a buff that makes you take 80% less damage, and she casts like a huge AoE ability. It's pretty much going to kill you if you don't have the moon buff. Okay, so you got to have the moon buff. She also gains a buff that makes her do like triple damage to the tank, and she's going to have that buff on herself, so make sure if she has that buff that your tank is ready for that and your healer is ready for that. Also, she casts Daggerfall, which is, as you can see, the daggers that fell all over the ground, and so you got to make sure that you're not standing in those. If you're standing in those, you just take a bunch of damage and you're an idiot, and so you don't ever want to stand in Daggerfall. And as you can see, they spawn right above you. You know where they're going to be. There's no excuse to ever get hit by them. It can kind of be an issue whenever she's casting Dark Communion and there's a bunch of ads around. But either way, this boss is pretty easy to handle. You just got to make sure that you stay at all the stuff. It's really all it takes. The next boss we're looking at here is Nowash, or as I like to call him, the Void Walker. And as you can see, he's casting Void Blast. And what that's going to do is that's just a channeled AoE spell on your tank. Make sure your tank faces him away from the group. He also teleports to a random player, as you can see here, and casts Void Vortex. That grips you into him if you're too close, and it does damage to you. As soon as he finishes doing that, he's going to cast this, like Soul Steal, and like you have to kill this ad all by yourself. Like it's just you and this ad. As soon as you kill the ad, you have to click on the ad. It's going to give you a buff called Redeem Soul. It's going to make you do a bunch more damage, right? And so this is, and honestly, like there are ads that are all around the room, and you might want to go clear the trash so the ads don't actually like fuck up your group in the middle of the fight. As you can see, that's what's happening to us because we have this ad that's not even supposed to be there. After that, after he finishes casting the Soul Steal, he's going to cast this thing called Void Devastation. He's going to summon these like different, just like pools of like shadow stuff. Make sure that you're kind of like watching out for those because if they hit you, they do a whole lot of damage. Other than that, this boss is pretty much rinse and repeat. So again, make sure your tank faces the boss away from the group, and make sure everybody's kind of spread out for the Void Grip thing. And so the Planar Shift, and I don't even remember what it was called, Void Vortex. And so just make sure you're not in front of those. Kill your little ad, and don't get hit by the purple stuff. Pretty simple. Next boss we're looking at here is, I don't even remember his name, it's like Bone Maw or something like that. He's going to do a Body Slam. Guess what you're not supposed to be in? Body Slam. So if you see something under the ground, get out of it. He also is going to do a Spit thing, where he like puts a thing on the ground, pretty much. You want to make sure that you're not standing on it. Some people try and stand on it because it makes it easier to run away from an Inhale. If he casts Inhale and he eats you, you take a ton of damage, you get knocked off the edge, and you're a fucking idiot. So you don't want to have that happen. When he gets to about 60%, he's going to summon the 2 other rock worms that you fought in the trash before him. You want to pretty much have somebody standing next to them, or they're going to do a bunch more damage to the raid. This is kind of like, this is the hard part of the fight. So kill these rock worms as soon as you can, and then you just rinse and repeat the fight. He can cast all of his normal abilities while the rock worms are up, the carrion worms, excuse me. And so just kill these things as fast as possible, and you want to have somebody standing on top of them, or they're going to do an attack that hits everybody in the group. So again, just don't get eaten by Inhale, and also make sure you kill the carrion worms as fast as you can. There's going to be 2 of them every time, and they're not going to have full health because you already got them lower during the trash. Ner'zhul is also like super easy, guys. Don't even worry about it. He only does 3 spells. Malevolence is like pretty much a cone attack, and if you stand in it, again, you're an idiot, and the tank should face it away from the group. He also casts Omen of Death, and as you can see, that's the purple thing that's next to me. Guess what? You don't stand in. Omen of Death. Again, it's another purple thing you don't stand in. There's a pattern here. The next last thing he casts is he casts like Wall of Souls or something like that, Ritual of Bones, and as soon as you see one of these guys spawn, you need to all attack the same guy and kill it as fast as possible. Make sure your tank isn't standing right there next to you, or he's going to cast Malevolence and maybe kill your group. Honestly, guys, at this point, it's just rinse and repeat. Like, this boss is easy as fuck, but he does a lot of damage, and a couple mistakes can kind of matter. Make sure your range are spread out so you don't get hit by too many Omens of Death. And other than that, this is so fucking easy. Like, as you can see, not even a big deal. Just make sure you kill the same skeleton during Ritual of Bones, and this is going to be a rinse and repeat, and this is going to be done. So anyway, this is Shadowmoon Burial Grounds in 5 minutes or less. Thanks for watching, and like, comment, subscribe.